Good evening. Is it still afternoon on the West Coast?
It is 6
Okay.
o'clock.
All right, fair enough. So that counts as evening, I think, after dinner.
It sure does.
So, okay, that's what that. Got it. All right, so welcome. Bit of technical difficulties, or maybe that was just in my ear. I hope that was just in my ear. But welcome to episode 48 of the Fanatics Sports Podcast. I'm Blocker. This person, beautiful woman on you, is Karrie. Kai? Are you going by Kai or just Karrie?
Yeah, I go by Kai.
Okay.
Karrie's my given name.
Of Game Chasers. Very awesome to have you with us today. Pretty cool to be able to talk. I ran across a few of your ads on Instagram, and I think the big one was just kind of talking about how much you enjoy sports. So after that, I was like, man, we definitely got to reach out and make a connection here. So definitely a pleasure to get to have you with us this evening. On the first day of football, of professional football. Very excited about that. Actually, as we speak, I've got my eyes in a couple different places as the Eagles take on the Cowboys to start the 2025 NFL season. Also, high school football on a Thursday night as well. I say baby cousins. I'm 6'5", God, they're massive. They make me look very, very small at 6'9" and 6'7". So, but they are currently playing against. Actually, so the interesting thing about my cousins that their rivals is actually the high school that I went to back in Little Rock, and I'm from Little Rock originally. They're from Little Rock. They live in Little Rock, well, on the north side, anyways. Now, really, really interesting to watch them, and almost kind of hard. I mean, I'm a family man through and through, so but it's kind of hard to root against my high school, but they've got my attention, and these two kids are really, really good kids on and off the field, so it's kind of fun to get to watch that. I know they were driving the field, but I think it's 14-0 bad guys as we speak. But really, really, again, absolute pleasure to have you here with us tonight. We'll talk for just a bit. So welcome to the Fanatics Sports Podcast. So I wanted to start, Kai, as always, as we always do, especially when we have new guests, first timers, if you will. We always like to start with your fan story. So the reason I call the podcast the Fanatic Sports Podcast is because I'm very passionate. The young boys I was just telling you about are part of my family. That we are a sports family through and through. Okay, so they play all sports. As a matter of fact, our grandfather was the shortest of three boys at 6'4", which is where our height comes from. And we all play sports. Uncle Rat ran track. Uncle Johnny played basketball. Those were my great uncles, my grandfather's brothers. My grandfather played sports. His son ran track. His daughter ran track and cheerleading. My brother and I played football, basketball. Of course, the cousins I'm speaking of, their mom ran track and played sports. They obviously play sports as well. We're a sports family through and through. Even my son runs cross country. My daughter ran cross country for a while. My son plays soccer as well. So whole family plays sports. Very, 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 very integral part of what we do. And so naturally, we're very passionate about it. And fanatic is akin to the word crazy, if you will, or passionate, and that's what we want is the passionate fans. But what interests me the most about our passion is where it comes from, right? And so that's kind of the coolest thing is that you get, and this is part of your job, but you see the crazy, you see the passionate fans, and that's what your job is. But tell me a little bit about your love for sports and how you became a fan of. It doesn't matter your favorite team. You decide Just tell me where they came from.
Okay. I grew up in the Midwest, Chicagoland area. So my dad was born in Chicago along with my grandparents. He grew up all Chicago sports. I did not have an option. I was born into it. So it was Cubs, it was Bulls, it was Blackhawks, the Bears, all of them. As I got older, I started making a little more decisions on my own teams and my own players, right? But right now, since we're just starting the NFL season, I'll say the Bears have always been one of my top teams, even though we haven't always been a top team.
Yeah,
we have our Super Bowl, and that's it.
I had a college roommate who was born in Chicago. He was raised in Conway, Arkansas, Central Arkansas, where we're from. But he's a Chicago fan through and through. And one thing I'll tell you about you Bear fans is, without question, y'all are definitely, there's no bandwagoning as a Bears fan. You are they are loyal to a team. Like you said, not a top team.
Right. Not a top team. And we've been through a lot over the years. And if we're still fans, you know how loyal we are as people, right?
That's right.
Kind of like the Cleveland Brown fans.
Yeah, that's a great.
If they're fans, and that's the way it is. But yeah, the Bears, I'm really excited about them this season. We've got, some really good trades that happened, and so I'm ready for it. But they're making us wait till Monday.
Yeah, you prime time out of the gate, which I think is pretty awesome to think about, and pretty impressive as well. But no, when you bring in the level of talent that that they have at quarterback with Caleb Williams, and the players that they put around him, they have not spared any expense to make sure that he and Coach Johnson and that group is very successful. So it's super exciting to get to watch that growth. And I spent a lot of time trolling my college roommate for a while, just with him being a Bears fan. So it's good to see him up for a while. And obviously very excited. A pleasure to welcome in our co-host, the angry Puerto Rican, Anthony Roman. What's up, Anthony?
What's going on?
Anthony, this is Kai. Anthony. So let me tell you a little bit about Kai.
How are you?
As we
you
get
don't
into,
have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. She's a Phoenix Suns fan. So my second favorite team in the NBA. So and that dates back to the Steve Nash days. So I appreciate and respect that.
Well, no, so I'm gonna tell you the coolest thing about her, right? All right, but aside from
is she a Commanders fan?
No, that would make her cool. That's ridiculous. No,
I'm a Bears fan.
Yep, that's right. Tuck that smile back, pal. But no, so here's the biggest reason why we're excited to have Kai on today. And we'll talk a lot, but we'll get to it a bit more about about all that you're doing. But the coolest thing she does, dig this up, all right? So you fly into Phoenix for the weekend, right? Phoenix is a great sports city, okay? So they got the Suns, they got the Cardinals, they got the Diamondbacks. So anytime you are from some great sports action. And what do, right? You need to get tickets for the game. Let's say it's me, you, and we're taking the staff over to hang out in Phoenix for the weekend, cover a game. What do we do? Do we look up the prices ourselves? Do we find our flights? Do we do all that ourselves? No. Here's what you do. You call Kai, okay? And you say, hey, Kai, I got. And he does the rest. Right. If I'm not mistaken, all I do is I hitch my mule up to get out there, and then you take care of everything else. Is that right?
That is. The one thing I do request is a consultation so that I know exactly where you want to sit in the stadium, what kind of experience you want, what your budget is, anything that you guys want to do extra while you're here, from nightlife to excursions. All of that. So I set up everything, and then you just show up and have a great time, and you don't have to worry about anything else.
Come on, baby.
I love that.
How do you not love that, bro? How do you not love that?
Look, the fact that she's not a Commanders fan and she is one of my closest friends. You basically are. You have the team that we are mortal enemies, and just because we got to watch this game last year together, we were watching this baby at the same time while we were sipping a couple drinks and we were cooking some food. And I said, "Hey man, this game is over." And then next thing you know, you had an idiot secondary decided to look to the left, and then all of a sudden the Hail Mary came, and then I won the game, and things went completely different for both teams because of that one bonehead play. And so but I do give you respect for being what you can bring to the table. That's pretty dope.
No,
Other than the fact that you're a Bears fan.
It's pretty dope to imagine. And look, man, like here's the thing: Phoenix isn't some like small out of town, like some small town. There's a ton to do, man. It's a really great spot. You're out in the desert, so you got pretty good weather most of the time. Now, as I understand it, that Phoenix does have like it gets its cold nights. Is that right?
Not any time between June and like September. Even at night, sometimes it's been like 109, 110 degrees. So during WNBA season, when people come out here, they pretty much stay inside.
Wait, did you say 109 degrees?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's been this week's been 111, 112, but we've had some rain, so it's dropped down, and today was only 98. So it's been nice.
That's
only 98.
That's all.
Yeah, it's a dry heat,
Well, so here's the
it's not Louisiana, 100% humidity and 100 degrees,
Yeah, so that's been and that was what my brother was telling me. So we grew up in Arkansas. Anthony's actually Anthony grew up in New York, and he lives in Arkansas now. And so we are, but that humidity is definitely the thing. And with that humidity, and he said, so my brother was telling me, like I was telling you when we talked earlier, Kai, so my brother lived in Phoenix for a few years. He said kind of the difference between dry heat and wet and the humidity that we're accustomed to is that you will, so you'll kind of forget it. It feels like it's 90 degrees, which feels about reasonable until you touch your car or your seatbelt or something metal. And it's like, oh yeah, 109, right.
Yeah.
Like he's like, man, I don't have to wear t-shirts as much, too much as often.
It's to touch your steering wheel, Even with, I've actually said that's my next invention is going to be car mitts for the summertime so that you can actually touch the steering wheel without third-degree burns.
Genius. Very genius.
Hey, people! Make sure you guys don't steal that. That's already copyrighted for Fanatics Sports Talk.
Patent pending.
Game Chasers has that already, so don't steal that, guys.
Kai, very excited again to have you on. Let's start here. Before we kind of get into we'll talk a little bit more about your Game Chasers experiences and kind of the things that led you down that path. Talk a little bit about some of your favorite sports experiences that you've had.
That I've been a part of or that I've granted other people?
That you've been a part of.
Okay. So last year in December, someone contacted me just out of the blue and asked me if I wanted to fly to LA to see the Bills take on the Rams.
Yeah.
And it was a free everything. Free flight, free stay, free trip. I got to go. I got to try on a real Super Bowl ring. Ooh. And then I got to sit lower.
Came off.
I got to sit lower level with a great group of people around me, and we watched that game, and that game was insane. That was one of the best games I had seen all season, and the Bills were crazy, but it was such a good game, and like the score was super high if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember it was a shootout.
Was it 39-42 or something weird like that? Like
I think so, yeah.
But the whole experience was awesome, and I had never been to LA or California before, so that was my first experience.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a hard one to beat.
What's it like being in SoFi Stadium?
It is by far the best stadium I've been in because of all the technology. And they have that running board at the top. It's like completely surrounds the whole inside. So you're getting updates, different camera views, different scores from teams across the league. And then it's like natural light that comes in there. So when the one thing is, I think it was a 3 o'clock game, maybe. So when it started getting dark, the stadium started getting dark. And then they turn on the lights and stuff. But they have a lot of like flashing lights and different colors, and they make it really fun. It was a really fun atmosphere.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's funny. I have a friend. He's a he's an LA Chargers fan. So him being, you going to the Rams, but he's an LA Chargers and they share the stadium.
Right.
It's like he kind of wants his own stadium because he thinks it's unfair, because it's like he feels like the stadium completely wasn't built for them. It was built for the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how their scheduling has to be great to get both those games in, and then they have concerts in between and other things going on. So kudos to their scheduling team. That's it's a lot to have 2 NFL teams in that stadium, back-to-back games, that kind of thing. Obviously, the 9 games that the Rams are away, then that's when the Chargers would play at home. So they have to compete with that. But I don't know. I mean, when you decide to have 2 NFL teams in the same city,
yeah, that's what happens.
I mean, where are you going to even put another stadium?
Not true.
You know what I mean? Like the Clippers' new stadium is like very close to that, like in the same shared parking lot area. I really want to go there. That's on my bucket list next.
Yeah, you and me both. We're going, Kyle.
We should all meet out there.
So
no, we will not all meet out there.
We're gonna have fun. If you're jealous that our team has more fun than your boring subway train New York Knicks, you just say that.
I like the Knicks.
They're pretty good team.
Better. Oh my God! Wow. You're hitting all the right points right now. It's like
if we're going to transition to the Knicks, no. Honestly, I am.
You said the Clippers, and that's the problem. You said the Clippers, and when you say anything remotely to his favorite team,
LA.
It's like he looks like the Kool-Aid man because he smiles from ear to ear, and he's like, yeah.
They're more
fun to deal with on a regular basis.
The Clippers are more fun than the Knicks, Anthony. That's not a wild.
I was just talking about the stadium.
Right.
Yeah. I love Kawhi Leonard, even though he's in a bunch of crap right now. But when he laughs and it's horrible, I die laughing. It's my favorite. I literally have a meme on my phone with him laughing just so I can laugh at some point.
My favorite is from that. I want to say it was from that interview where he says, well, I'm a fun guy. It's like nothing about him says. I mean, I'm sure he is, right? I'm sure he's probably a very interesting and loving guy to the people that know him, but we don't know him. I do not believe that he's a fun guy. I'm sure he is, but it doesn't seem like
he's socially awkward in my eyes, right? But the laugh is my favorite. Like if I could just have it on recording for that all the time, that would be great.
Yeah, please. The more the merrier, by the way. The more the merrier. Looks like we lost Ant. Well, but yeah, no, I definitely I've got and that's kind of the thing. I've got a bucket list of places that I want to go, whether it be, football, baseball, basketball. Ironically, this is gonna sound silly. At my job, we lost the remote to our lobby TV recently, and so it's been stuck on the U.S. Open and tennis. And I'm a sports fan through and through, Kai. It doesn't matter what. We can go watch golf. We can go watch tennis, we can watch baseball. You pick, and so like I've got a bucket list of places that I want to go and see. The stadium, experience a game, experience a match, or what have you. Throughout that. Do you have a bucket list of places that maybe a top 5 of places you want to go before you get out of here?
Yeah. Well, I guess my son, he's an adult, but we go every summer and we knock several ballparks off the list. And so
Yeah.
we're touring the whole US and
Okay.
Toronto when that happens. And we're trying to hit every ballpark before I pass away, which hopefully we have enough time for that.
Yeah, hopefully no time soon.
I know, right? And so next on my list, I think is going to be the NBA, different NBA stadiums.
Okay.
I've been to a couple of them, but like I'm also doing NFL. So I just really love live sporting events. So
Yes.
anywhere I can go to be in that electric atmosphere is on the bucket list.
Yeah, definitely. I love, and you know, that's kind of the cool thing is just that sports provides that community. You know, I've met so many people who are making their way around. One of my closest friends is following. He's visiting all of the SEC stadiums. I think he's already hit I think he's hit maybe all 14 of them.
Okay.
And then after that, then I think there was a couple other conferences he was going through, but that the NFL game, in all the NFL stadiums, and then all the MLB stadiums.
Yeah.
And you know, there's some that are just so iconic. You know, you think about, I know you talk about being a Cubs fan for so long. You know, their stadium is just, you know, that ivy on the wall is just top notch, right? You know, you can't beat that. Hey, Ant, do you have a stadium bucket list, like places that you want to hit as far as like stadiums?
To be, and I do apologize about that. I got a phone call in the middle of while we were talking,
Nice.
so I just completely cut everything off when I was trying to hit the decline button. But do I have a bucket? To be honest with you, I really do. I really do. I want to go, and this is outside of football. This is baseball. I want to go to Wrigley Stadium.
Yeah. So
I've been there so many times.
I want to touch history just because I've been to Boston, and I'm not a Boston fan, but I went there after my mom had passed away. My ex-fiance, she took me up there to allow me to, like, you know, get away from the city vibes and get something a little different. So we learned the history on why there's a red chair. The green monster is really, really scary. Just looking over and you look down, you're like,
it is massive. Yeah.
But it's
That's on my bucket list, that one.
It's the history to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's the history with Wrigley Fields. I wish I was alive to be at Brooklyn Dodger Stadium. You know, when that stadium was around, I wish I kind of basically was able to see that. But you know, I'm more, and you know, Blanca, I'm always about history. So I feel like history to me is like, you know, important, because if you don't study it or know what's going on, how can you be a fan of the sport or sports in general? But I really do believe there's a lot of history behind Wrigley Field, especially with them finally winning and doing what they needed to do. Like, you know, winning that World Championship Series and doing it the way they did. And, you know, me being a Met fan, that says a lot. This is my journalism coming out. I love it. You know, I love the history in stadiums. I love to hear the stories behind it, especially being in the same seat that Brad Pitt was sitting in during Moneyball.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. They take you through the whole tour. They show you the inside where you can see where Moneyball started. They show you everything. The stadium is really dope. And even the tour, the people were really awesome. You have one guy taking you completely around, and you just ask him questions, and he'll answer those questions or show you where things are. It's such an amazing experience. And I feel like if you ever get a chance to go to Boston, to Red Sox Stadium, you know, to Fenway, and be able to actually witness and actually appreciate that, if you like sports, you'll appreciate the history behind it. It's really dope. The statues outside of the stadium are really awesome. Ted Williams, you know, a statue, really awesome. But I just I want more of the history with Chicago, and I think that's probably one of my venues I want to go to.
And you know, I think that's kind of the cool thing about it, man, is that there's so many great sports cities. You know, Atlanta's an awesome sports city. Chicago, New York, LA, you know, New Orleans. There's so many awesome sports cities that are around. And not only are there great sports cities, but there's also really great things to see outside of that. And so, like, kind of getting back to what Kai does is that she sets up the entire trip for you, bro. So say we're coming to Phoenix, and it's more than just your the ball game, right? So we go see the Cardinals play, we go see or you go see the Diamondbacks play, or you go see the Suns play, whatever. Then after that, then she sets up the night for you, right? So she's got all the right clubs that you want to go to, or if you want to go have great dinner and great drinks, have a unique experience on not only are you treating yourself as far as the game, but your palate as well. So can't say enough about how cool that is for you to get to do it for yourself, but also the opportunity to get to do it for others. So talk a little bit about how you got into this field and what kind of brought you down this path.
Okay. Well, obviously the fandom is a huge thing. I'm very passionate about sports. When I first moved to the Valley, I didn't know anybody. I moved here by myself, and I was catching some like games at the local pubs. And then finally I bought a ticket and I went to a Suns game. That was in 2019 when they won 17 games the whole year. They were horrible. You could get a ticket for super cheap, Yeah. And I'm like, I don't really have a basketball team right now. And there's a history behind that, which we don't have to get into, but I didn't really have a basketball team.
Just come on over to the Knicks side, man. We got
I've been there in high school. Ewing, Oakley, Starks days.
Hey, man, where you find her?
I even had a starter New York Knicks jacket that I blinged out.
Where did you find this woman at? Wow.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I bounced around a little bit with sports, but like when I got here, I was like, I really need to adopt an NBA team. So I did that, and I realized like it wasn't really much fun always going by yourself. Mm-hmm. So I started a Suns fan club called the Suns Fanatics. And there was probably it just caught fire really quick. We had about 700 members. There were people from all over the world, Australia, the Philippines, everywhere in the country. But we had a whole huge group in Arizona. And so I started setting up game experiences where it would be group games. And then we would do, when they made it to the playoffs finally, we ended up doing big watch parties, and the Suns gave us a bunch of swag to hand out. So we did that. And then we started really forming good friendships with all these people, right? And so you have everybody from someone that's brand new like me to the Valley, doesn't know anybody. You have people whose spouses don't like sports, so they don't really have anyone to go watch with. You have other people who are like looking to make friends or, what have you. So we were all inclusive. Anybody could join. There was no membership fee. I handled everything on my own. And then we started doing dinners and bowling and like community service with volunteering and that kind of thing. And it just kind of kept rolling. And we did that for like 3 years. And I was doing it on my own dime with like paying deposits, and, people don't always come through like they're supposed to. So, that was on me. But I figured, why can't I do something like this for every major league sport? Phoenix is one of the top 10 sports cities in the country with our weather. We have PGA, NASCAR, WNBA, NBA, MLB, Cactus League, Fiesta Bowl. This next year in 2026, we have the NCAA Women's Final Four. And then the year after that, we have the NBA All-Star Weekend. So we've had the Super Bowl multiple times. Like we're always in sports, so I decided, why not do this with everything and give everybody experiences like I've been providing for the fan club.
Hey, so Kai, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So as you were talking about your experiences going to Phoenix and being by yourself, and you talk about being a sports fan and being a fan of just sports in general. Mm-hmm. Your love of sports, but your ideology behind the idea of what you have going on right now started from you being a fan and wanting to just have people come together and have camaraderie, correct?
Yeah. Sports to me and you might have seen it on my IG, but sports doesn't care who we are. It doesn't care where we came from. It doesn't care our race or who we vote for or any of that. So what it does is it creates a big community, and you can share that with hundreds of thousands of people, even if it's just for an hour or two, you know? And like, that's me. I want to bring community, friendship, like all the positive aspects of sports. And of course, there's some crap talking and, you know, like fun stuff. And, you know, you get some people that get a little too into it. But like for me, it's all about bringing people together through sports fandom.
It's beautiful to get to communicate or to get that community from sports, like I said, and that's kind of the thing behind what we do with our podcast. It's the same thing, like that fanatic community. You know, while it does get crazy at times, it does also bring so many people together, you know, all over the world. And that's such a fun thing. Go ahead, Ed.
No, I was gonna ask. Do you have any like who are your favorite players in different sports? Like, you know, who's your top one that you like to follow? And if you say LeBron James, I will leave.
Well, I am a beat LA fan across the board. Okay, I'm not a LeBron James fan, so don't hate me. But
thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, I can't deny what he's done for the game.
Thank you.
But I'm not a fan, like a super fan or anything. So it depends on the sport. Right now, I'm big into the Diamondbacks, even though I was born and raised a Cubs fan. Since I've been here, I've kind of migrated. Once the Cubs blew up their team and I didn't even know who was on the team anymore, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm a Diamondbacks fan more now, you know, and since I go to the games, I have season tickets, you know, like, so I'm there all the time. This weekend, we get to see the Red Sox play. And afterwards, we got a Flow Rider concert, so it's going to be fun. But my player for right now, my favorite baseball player is Ketel Marte.
Okay.
I feel like he's the best second baseman in the league. I know that other people may have a difference of opinion, but for me, he's that guy. He's worth every penny we've spent on him. If you're talking basketball, that's a hard one because I love players. You know what I mean? I just love basketball. It's probably my favorite sport out of everything. If you could see Bridges behind me, which you guys stole now and he won't come home. Mikal Bridges was my favorite son.
Not sorry.
Yeah, he was my favorite player on the Suns until he left. But I follow him still. I still watch the Knicks. I love Brunson. He's fantastic. He can come over here any day. We'd have a great team.
It'll never happen.
I know it won't. We already tried the super team thing. That didn't work. So.
Yeah, that didn't quite go the way you thought it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So actually, as you talk about this, you know, you tried to do the super team. What was it like in the community where you live at? What was it like having that and then watching it dwindle down into nothing?
No.
Our fans are passionate in Phoenix, and as you can see, like only our Diamondbacks have a championship. So we're always hoping that season is going to be different, right? So every season in the summer when they first, you know, Matt Ishbia came in and then it was the trade deadline. I woke up to like 50 text messages that Mikal was gone and Cam was gone and that we now have Kevin Durant. And I was freaking crying. I literally was crying tears because I was so upset that the Twins were leaving. And they were a huge part of the energy for the Suns. And since they've left, we have not had that energy back. Yeah. And at the same time, I softened up towards KD. I bought a jersey. I started going to the games and watching him like practice and like do all this other stuff. And he's one of the best players I've ever seen play. He is married to the game. You know, he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have all the drama that a lot of these other players have. He has basketball and he loves it. And I think that's amazing for him. And he has shown the world how good he is. I was here during his 30,000th point when he knocked off Dr. J's record. So seeing some history with him here was fantastic. The way he left and how he was not happy with the front office after they started talking about a trade behind his back, that really, I'm sure, upset him. Because you would think that they would have more respect for a player of his caliber to just go behind his back. At least tell him, hey, we're going to listen to offers, but we'll talk to you, if we find something we like. So him going to the Rockets is definitely an issue. They were good last year, and I just see them doing really well this year.
They could be very dangerous. Yeah, Kevin Durant is the most unique player, and I think just not even because of like his size and his skill set, and which you don't. We've rarely seen that level of skill set and that size. But I think, like you said, talking about how much he puts into the game. There was I want to say he had a fiance very early in his career, and something fell apart, and the rumors I hear were that like he was just too committed to basketball more than any other relationship. Talk about it, just a unique guy. Have you met any players that have been that stick out in your mind as unique like Kevin Durant, or just in general the type of players you've met that are unique in your line of work? That
I've actually met?
Yeah.
No, I met Mikhail.
Okay.
I have a signed jersey right there.
Very
he was very cool to me. Like they would all come out of the tunnel, like the Suns players. Now this was back before KD, right? But all the players would come out. Everybody was pumped up. Everybody was having fun, and they were like giving high fives to the crowd and signing stuff. And they were out there singing and dancing and warm ups and getting the crowd really into it. And we've just not had that energy since they've left. And, then with the Bradley Beal signing, I was actually really excited. Like Bradley Beal, who wouldn't want him on your team at that point,
The
Knicks. Well, that was after the fact, right? Like you can't blame a man for having that contract when you gave it to him to begin with.
Sure.
And you know what I mean? Who wouldn't want a no trade clause?
Yeah, of course.
Right. And it's not his fault that Phoenix changed their mind or wanted to move pieces around. It's not his fault. I mean, he was sidelined quite a bit with injury and that kind of thing. But when he would play, he always hustled. He was always a good defender. He, even when they moved him to a sixth man, on the bench, he still came out there and he hustled his butt off every single game. So I got to give him a lot of credit for dealing with the personalities he had to deal with in the front office and everything. He's on the Clippers now, as we know, and I think he's going to be happier there. And I think they are going to have a better use for him.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're hoping. I'm not super excited about our season because we've got there's so many ifs and hypotheticals for us from a basketball standpoint that I get concerned. I don't want to set myself up for that failure, but
it's already set up.
Are you a Pels fan?
Yeah.
No, am I a Bulls fan?
No. Who Blanca, who's your team?
I'm a Clippers fan. I'm a Clippers fan.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, So I'm a big believer in not being a bandwagon
What's he
fan.
laughing?
Yeah. He's laughing because the Knicks finally are good after 40 years. Anthony was 1 year old the last time the Knicks had a good season, and I don't know. He's excited. I'm happy for you, buddy. But I joined the Clippers. I joined the Clippers with the intention of being, of not being a bandwagon fan. It doesn't feel right to me, like to join after a team wins a ring.
Right.
Like in baseball, I'm a Royals fan, so kind of the same concept of we've had a good run of tough years, and then but then when it all kind of comes together, the way you feel rewarded, to have been through the tough times and to finally get that ring, it makes all those years worth it. And boy, we're loading up for a big one with the Clippers because it's been a long time since we've been.
Yeah,
really
we haven't even won a ring yet.
Yeah, well, the same. So But yeah, no, I definitely understand your sentiment. I am happy to hear that that when Bill is on the court, he does give it his all. Because I sometimes as a fan, you can get caught up in the narrative that the media pulls, and you can forget these guys are kids. A lot of them. Yeah, I think Bill is. I mean, we're talking about Kevin Durant and Bill is Grizzly veterans of basketball, and I mean they're barely 35. I think Durant maybe 36.
Yeah, I think
36.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of life left for these guys, but you don't think about it. They're millionaires as kids. They go through life as children, and a lot of them come from hard homes and hard beginnings and humble beginnings of sorts. So that's the thing that it's kind of cool to hear, to get an up close perspective from someone who's been so close to it. For those
breaking news. Saquon Barkley just scored his first touchdown of the season.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't pick him in my fantasy.
In one of my fantasy leagues, I've got Jalen Hurts, who's already scored twice. Rushing touchdowns, as a matter of fact, not passing. So that's 12 points.
I need him to throw the ball to AJ Brown.
Good luck.
So what's the score right now?
It is now 21-17 Eagles.
Really? 17 points for the Cowboys. That's way more.
Jalen Carter. So the Eagles are missing a lot of players on defense, either due to being, traded away, signed in free agency, or somebody spitting in someone's face the first play of the game.
Literally, they've talked about they've been frustrated with each other literally all summer. Apparently,
Jalen Carter spitting someone's face the first play of the game.
He's spitting that face. Dakota Rain Prescott's face. That's
crazy.
His name is Doc.
Dakota.
Yeah, no, Doc.
Dak?
Doc.
Sure.
Doc.
Please explain.
I can't pronounce his name.
Dak Prescott? Is that who you're talking about?
Doc. It's Doc Prescott. I can't pronounce his name until he's relevant.
Oh, okay. That might be a while.
He's a Commanders fan. Bless his heart. So first and foremost, we should start with the fact that it's not even halftime, and both teams have already scored 38 points. Very impressive.
Well, that's true. We're about to hit to I think 38 seconds left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not even quite halftime.
It's not even halftime, and that's a lot of points being scored. I knew this would be a shootout. I just think that I think they have too many weapons. I think the Eagles have way too many weapons. I think Dak has been playing very, very lackadaisical. He's being efficient, but he's not finding the open man that's actually deeper than the short route. He's starting to remind me of Chad Pennington throwing 10 yards.
Shocking.
As I look at this game, I look at Saquon. Devontae Williams has actually come on. I was not expecting him as the Cowboys running back, especially RB1. To be able to run the ball and be efficient on how he's running the ball. Their offensive line is showing is just honestly, the Eagles basically just punched him in the mouth with 44 seconds left in the game in the first half. That's pretty much what that is.
Yeah, well, there's going to be. I mean, so you can expect more fireworks in the second half as well. So
yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Is it worth turning on? When I'm done with you guys? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a oh yeah, you can turn on. I definitely encourage you to turn on. I'm never gonna watch any NFC East football. That sounds awful. I'd rather stick my finger in a pencil sharpener.
Oh, nice.
Hey Kai, I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Okay.
You watch football a lot, right?
Yeah.
What do you think over the last 5 years? How the game has changed. Do you see it changing anymore? Do you feel like the game's going to change even more to where you get more higher scores, or do you feel like we're going to get more of a because it always changes era to era? Do you think we might get some more defense coming up, or are we just going to get a lot of high scores?
That's a really good question. With football, I feel like there's been some significant changes in the rules and like the whole tush push thing. And you know what I mean? Like all these things, I feel like it's very offensive friendly, right?
Mhm.
But I would love to see some highly defensive games.
Yeah.
You might end up with one touchdown or something, but it's not because both teams stink. It's because both teams have great defense.
Playing good defense,
you know? So I'm not sure where it's going in the future. Obviously, you want to protect the player's health. You want to make sure you're not purposely setting them up for injury and that kind of thing. It does take away from the old school type of play, right? But the players are coming away with less concussions and injuries and that kind of thing. So
so basically what you're saying is you're not really a Steelers fan. You're an okay Steelers fan.
I am not a Steelers fan at all.
Oh, I'm so happy you said that because this man over here literally.
I mean, I love Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong, because he was a Chicago Bear, but I'm a Chicago Bears fan.
This man really believes they're winning a Super Bowl this year.
They might. I mean, I want to believe the Bears are going to win, but then we got the Packers with that new trade, and it kind of blew things out of the water. So.
Exactly. So first off, before I correct you, I do want to say hello to all of our new fans on TikTok. Congratulations, you guys. You can put this on your resume if you like. You are our first guest on our first episode on TikTok Live.
Wow.
Yeah, you can definitely add that to your resume of awesome things you're doing.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
All right, I'll take it.
a big hello to everyone that's joining us.
Yeah,
we got a few eyeballs on us there, look, and this is the beauty of the beginning of the season, especially in football. Everybody's got a chance, right? And football's not this ain't rocket science or entomology, Kai. We're in the game of football, if the play side tackle and guard double the defensive tackle, the center blocks back, and the backside guard pulls, it doesn't matter who's running the rock. That's a 5-yard gain if everybody does what they're supposed to do. I mean, and that's the beauty of the game. It's the ultimate team game. And so, and all 32 of the teams that they pay all their players to do exactly what I just described, and they go over and practice it for a very long time every week to do it. So everybody's got a chance to win the Super Bowl except for the Commanders. And so it's just beautiful to watch this game because
So the Commanders quarterback, Jaden Daniels, right?
Jaden Daniels, yep.
Yeah, he was my first pick in my fantasy league, by the way.
Good job.
He is one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Listen, they've got a good quarterback. The kid can ball, no question.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a stud. And what's really great, so I actually got to see this up close, being that he was here at LSU for a couple of years.
Clock management. Oh my God.
Watching him take some of those big hits that he would accept was really, really amazing. But the kid's an outstanding runner, a terrific passer. The Commanders have stumbled into a gold. They got a gem for sure. And so and they put some really good pieces around him. Anthony, you should be congratulating me right now. So yesterday was our preview to the NFL season, where I picked in the NFC East. I picked the Washington Commanders to win the division.
Yeah, no, I heard all of that debauchery coming from Freezy. I heard that. I hope he's watching. If not, I'll tag him at this point in time. Because Freezy's a hater, and he's always going to be a hater. But no, I appreciate the actual realism. Because look, man, we are a team of destiny. If you look at it with Terry McLaurin back, we really are. We are a team of destiny. We control our own fate. We really do. If Jaden Daniels learns to slide a little bit more and not play RG3 type football, where he's running the ball and taking major hits, and then by his second year he's injured and he's basically irrelevant playing NFL analyst, And when I say playing NFL analyst, that's all RG3 is playing is an NFL analyst. Look, I'm just saying, but it's not his fault. It's also the coach's fault. It's Kyle Shanahan's fault. You didn't put pieces around him to help him learn how to slide. These group of people that Jaden Daniels has is something spectacular. Not only is his mom helping him with the people that are around him, it's the coaching staff putting great people around him to make him better and it's not even just trickling down to the offense, it's now trickling down to your defensive side. So guys want to play, they want to be here. So this is why I say we are a team of destiny. We are going to pick our own wins. We're going to pick our battles. We will beat the Steelers. We will beat the Chiefs. We will beat the Bears. Monday Night Football. You ask me any other time you want me to go ahead and throw some stuff out there, I will go ahead and throw it out there.
We have some revenge from that last game.
Hey, just make sure you tell all of your secondary to look forward and not to the left.
I know, right?
Was that
wanted to find that guy?
Was that game in Chicago?
Yes.
So wait, no. All right.
He was messing with the fans in the stand and not paying attention, and then the dude just totally got touched on.
Okay, so quick question. All right, if you can remember this guy. So we remember the Hail Mary where Jaden Daniels throws that deep ball, and so that defensive back was yelling at a fan instead of finishing out the game, right? Is that worse, or when the fan at the Cubs in the Cubs stadium reached out and got that ball from Moises Alou? Which one? I'll let you go first since you're the Chicago fan.
So the World Series catch over, you know what I mean? That guy literally, the Florida governor contacted him and offered him a free place to stay because he was getting death threats from the Chicago fans.
Because that would have sent them to the World Series, right?
Yeah, it would have. And we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
So it was a huge disappointment. My son's a Marlins fan, so he always throws that in my face. But he wasn't even born at that point. I don't think.
He doesn't count.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so you don't even get to say that. But yeah, that was pretty shocking. And for all the Cubs fans who had waited at that point, 80 years or something, like 75 years to go to the World Series, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that understandably so. I'll
have to agree with her.
I'll never never be okay with death threats, but look, I understand. I mean, listen, it's been a long time for us to. It's been 10 years since the Steelers won a playoff game. If we give up because which I guess when I think about from the football standpoint, who was the D-back? Anthony, do you remember? It wasn't Jalen Johnson. It was the other one.
He was a rookie.
Are you talking about who the D-backs?
Yeah, who was the D-back on that play?
D-back.
The guy who turned around on that play and looked to the left. He was a rookie starting quarterback for your team. He was doing great. I can't remember his name.
He actually had a good year. Yeah,
he had a really good year. With that one, it was you really let the ball literally go over your head. You let the game go over. You thought you had the game won, and you let the guy go past you because you wasn't paying attention. And when the game was finally over, when you turn around, the ball is now the same guy he was supposed to defend and block out of the end zone. Catches that ball off a tip, and everybody knows in Hail Mary, it's always tip drills. And he wasn't there. He wasn't prepared. And I think that's what trickled down your season, even though Caleb Williams had probably a phenomenal rookie season. Right? And I can't take that away from Caleb.
Yeah, he had a great season. And I think it's going to be good.
What was it? I think he had 7 interceptions, 31 touchdowns, over 3,000 yards passing.
He had a great year.
He had 54%, maybe 54 to 57% completion. It was the fact that he was getting sacked. He didn't have a good system.
He definitely led the league in being sacked. So.
His team let him down. I can't say he let them down. I say his team let him down because of that momentum downfall. You have all the momentum going in. You beat us. You beat you beat the Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
You beat the Heisman Trophy winner the year before. You are the first overall pick. He's the second, and he's whooping. Excuse my language. He's whooping your ass. Like he's whooping your defense's ass. We should have never been in that game. Like, we should have never been in that game. There were a lot of mental mistakes. But to watch that and see that, I think that hurt your whole entire team. And I do have to say the catch over Moises Alou when he was supposed to catch when that guy was supposed to catch that to send you guys into the World Series.
Wow.
My heart would be crushed.
Yeah. As far as the game goes that you're talking about with the Commanders and the Bears, that was our huge turning point in our season last year.
Absolutely.
We just went on a downward spiral after that. Yeah. And our coach got fired, so they had like an interim coach, and there was, the Bears don't ever fire a coach during
mid-season. Yeah.
And so, but I'm glad they did, honestly. Work the kinks out through the rest of the season. If it's not going to work out, like Johnson's in now, I have so much faith in him, and him and Caleb's chemistry together, I think are going to do good things. They stacked up people around Caleb for this year. The offensive line is hopefully going to be better. Like our defense is always gold. So I'm really looking forward to this season, but that game changed the whole trajectory of our season last year.
Oh yeah. But you said something that I've been telling Blocka, and I told Blocka when they hired him. When they hired Ben Johnson, I told him, I said, watch the Chicago Bears culture change. And you see it in practice. And you see it in practice. You watch the OTAs, you watch the training camp, you watch them in preseason. There's a swagger. And I'm not trying to toot anybody's own horn. I've been saying this since literally I've been saying this since they hired him. There is a culture, there is a swagger about the Chicago Bears that is undeniable. And I see why everybody's picking, the Bears to make a playoff run this year. I see it. It's the swagger. Everybody's got that swagger. And when you have everybody on the same page, what's that? The drum line. One band,
one sound. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have that, if you have that, and I think that's what they're on. I can see, man, they have so many different weapons, so many different players. It's going to be really fun, and I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch this year.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a big change with Johnson coming over. How he was with Detroit and the change that team made over a couple of years, and then, look at them last year, 15-2, I believe their record was.
Yeah, that's right.
It's crazy. So I'm hoping that we had the same thing. It's a fresh start for the Bears. They have all new coaches. We have a new front office. I really have faith this year. I say this every season in the beginning. I really have faith that the Bears are going to do something this year. But it's really, they got to keep having that team mindset and not everybody's playing for themselves type of thing,
We not me.
See, and that's why I like that you said that, because unlike Blocka over here, he's got one of the hugest prima donnas to ever touch a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
He's talking about Aaron Rodgers, and he may not be wrong, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers isn't even on that team anymore.
No, he's on the Steelers
He's
now.
on the Steelers.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about the Jets. I was like, yeah, he's on the Steelers. It's basically him and I'm sorry, Bears quarterback. He just had a brain fart.
Caleb Williams.
On the Jets.
Yeah. Justin Fields.
Fields. Yeah, they basically just switched teams.
Yep, that's what happened.
And like, I don't know. I think Fields is going to do pretty good this year. Aaron Rodgers, I have not liked because he was a Packer quarterback.
Oh, right.
I am not a Packer fan. Anti-Packer all the way. So like Brett Favre, nope. I mean, they're both great at what they do, but.
Well, all right. So Kai, we got to discuss something here.
Okay.
This is because with you being a Bears fan, I know you told me you would come up in Chicago. I kind of forgot about this. So let's see here. Oh, you know what? That game's in Pittsburgh. Well, the Bears are. Oh no! It's in Chicago. The Bears. We played the Bears in Chicago, November 23rd.
Is that like?
Sister's birthday. That's like. Is that Thanksgiving weekend or is it the weekend?
I feel like that is. I think that is Thanksgiving weekend. I gotta look that up.
No, it depends on. It's weird. It falls on that like every 4 years or 5 years or something. But yeah, that's going to be a good game. We might have to place a friendly wager on that one.
Very friendly wager. No, I'm very excited about that. And you know what? That may be the only game where I'm happy to have Aaron Rodgers because he's got this stigma over Chicago and has his entire career. I want to say, did the Jets beat the Bears when he played them? Or no, I think this was his last year in Green Bay. There was what he does the discount double check and he says I still and there's a lot of expletives and
that's what he called the discount double check. It was the Superman belt.
But yeah, no, there was definitely a lot of there was a lot of
what was that? Oh, okay. Hey, Blocker. My angry friend over here wanted me to tell you something.
Oh boy.
Stop blowing smoke up your team's ass.
Yep, that's $1. That swear jar is coming out of yours. I'm not paying for that. I don't think you got a friend over there.
Oh no, that was my angry friend.
Your dog doesn't count.
Hey, that's not true. That's not true. He counts. He's a Commanders fan.
No, man. Look, I'll tell you with great certainty. I'm not. I said it yesterday on air. I think that we will. I think we'll win 10, 11 games. I think we'll get to the playoffs and we'll lose again in the first round. That's what I'm thinking. That's what my mind is, and anything over that is gravy on the potatoes. I mean. I think long term we've got to find a young quarterback that can make a play.
You guys got rid of one young receiver because of problems and issues in the locker room to having another prima donna wide receiver who can actually dominate and play and a lot more physical, but he's also 30. I think that's a big thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. So first of all, we didn't get rid of George Pickens because of all that other stuff. We got rid of George Pickens because we weren't going to be able to re-sign him. Yeah, that's what that boy.
He's going to be 28, 29, or 30.
He's 27. He'll be 28. He'll be 28 at the end of the season, so that counts.
He's still young. I mean, that's still young, but still old in a wide receiver standpoint.
He also can run 22 miles per hour. So whatever you're talking about is.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true. I still remember that. I still remember that play where he chased down dude. From the 2-yard line all the way down and stopped him from scoring a touchdown.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. I'll tell you, I was extremely sad when we traded George Pickens. How's he doing, by the way? That's actually why I pulled up the game was I wanted to see what
the game's not bad. It's coming back from
it's 21-20. Yeah, it's been quite the game. As we're just kind of yapping away here. But let's see where we at with his. He's got 2 receptions for 15 yards on 3 targets. CD's got 4 receptions for 86 yards. No scores. Javonte Williams has 2 touchdowns. Oh my God! You know what? I said that I wanted to pick him up because he's a reliable back, and more importantly is that I'm not sure why Denver let him walk. I guess because he probably wasn't worth paying, but at the same time, it was he's a good back, And when you give a good back to Dak, Dak becomes a better quarterback. And so, I mean, like I said, I believe that the Cowboys had an opportunity prior to the Michael Parsons trade. That's who I would have picked to win the division, just because it's going to be a muddy division. But after the Michael Parsons trade, I know it's not going to be the Eagles. They won't have the same winner. It'll probably be another 10 years before the NFC East has a repeat winner. So
as a Bears fan, I absolutely hate that trade.
I can see why you might not like that.
Because it was our year, and now the Packers got them, and I just know that it's going to change everything.
Thinking about that, that division, and this was the excitement last year or yesterday while we were talking about our season preview, because there's the NFC North, there's the NFC East, there's the NFC West, the AFC North. There are so many divisions right now where I can't tell you who's going to win the division outright, and it feels like just about every division is a two-man race at least, right? The NFC East and the NFC North, it could be any of those teams. In the West, in the NFC West, I feel like it could be one of three teams out there. I mean, there's so right now, and look, we got 18 weeks of football to play. Very excited about it. Definitely want to invite you to our fan festival. So here's what we're doing, Kai. I know you said you're in a fantasy league as well. What we've done this year is we hosted a fantasy football league, and we had it's a creators league. So a lot of the people in the league are either fans of our podcast, or some of them are business owners that partner with us. And then a lot of them are just creators that we've linked with to network throughout our 1 year of doing podcasts like this. So it was really cool. We started with our draft selection was a game show, kind of like Big Brother. If you ever watched Big Brother, it was an NFL trivia game show. Anthony finished 8 out of 12. And I recused myself because I was the one who came up with all the questions.
7 out of 12, sir. I was 7.
My bad. 7 out of 12. And so
had a great pick, by the way, because I literally was at work, so I didn't get a chance to do anything.
Are you at work now?
No, I'm home.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. So here's how it went. So we had the game show to determine the draft selection order. We had the draft, of course. Each Tuesday we will be reviewing the week. So we started couple days ago. Was it Thursday? All right. So we started a couple days ago just reviewing our draft and talking about, how much we liked our teams and that sort of thing. But every Tuesday we'll talk about, who had the best player, who picked up the best player off the waiver, which player was supposed to score 3 points and score 15, which player was supposed to score 15 and score 3. So that show will be every Tuesday. We're very excited about that. It's a great way to create content and for content creators to network. So yesterday's preview was by Freezy Sports, Justin Frazier of Freezy Sports, and Ben Rodriguez of NFL Playmakers and Inside the Locker Room. So shout out to them for doing an outstanding job. By the way, 2 of the sharpest young minds NFL writers today. So very.
I know Kai is probably like, why is he doing that? Okay, so me and Freezy, we have a rivalry going on.
I figured it had to be something like that.
This is the fun of the year, yeah. So
yeah, this is part of the year where I get to talk my shit. I love what Freezy does. Look, he's a great eligible kid who, or should I say, I can't even say kid, young adult, who knows what he's doing, has the right mindset to do what he's doing, and he's hungry about what he's doing. I can talk a lot of smack to him just because I like to, but I got to give him his flowers while they are right now. Look, man, the guy knows what he's doing, but it's not Broncos country. Let's ride. I don't know where he still gets this idea or this thought process that Denver's making the playoffs. I don't know, but that's where the rivalry and the boo comes from.
Listen, it can happen.
I don't know. Anything can happen.
Well, so to finish up though, Kai, we're gonna finish the season with a big party. Now I'm from Little Rock, and I grew up in Northwest Arkansas. I became an adult in Northwest Arkansas. Myself, I met Anthony there as well. So we're gonna have a big party there to finish off the season. That's where we'll watch the championship match. We've got trophies for the winner, and we do have trophies for the losers as well. And the losers have a trophy and a t-shirt, and it's gonna be a mess. But you're more than welcome to make your way to Northwest Arkansas the first of the year, February the 4th. If you want to come check out the championship, we're very excited about this. Actually, very proud. Just so you know, as I stated, the loser is gonna. You want to tell them what it's worth, Anthony?
So basically, what Freezy's going to be wearing is I got me drafted in the fantasy sports league.
Just for reference, while we were in the middle of
and you know what, Blocker? You know what we need to do? The loser needs to have their name, their actual name above. I Blake and Blake got booty blasted in the yo. There is no denying.
I'm glad I'm not in your league.
Yeah, so look, we're more excited. Be honest with you. I mean, the winner will have their time. Here's your trophy. Congratulations. But the loser's got some work to do. So,
yeah.
But for what it's worth, I'm getting one of those shirts too because I was really proud of how we put it together. And just again for reference where that comes from. So I want to say, was it Freezy said that?
It was Freezy like a week ago. No, about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, as we're going through our process, he mentioned something. And he says the phrase "booty blasted," which I have never in all my days heard, and I've been giggling for literally 4 weeks straight now because it's just funny. And so I said that's gonna be the trophy. It's gonna be the booty blasted trophy. And so that's what we're doing. So look, before we cut out of here, Kai, any shameless plugs, anything you want to mention before we go?
Well, I'm gonna just mention my business. So Game Chasers was created for sports fans and for athletes and for anybody that wants to enjoy a major league sporting event, but doesn't want to have to deal with all the extra work to do there. You don't want to log in 15 times to all these different ticket sites to see how much you can get, only to get to the checkout and they've added $150 in fees, so I handle all that. I have networks through the whole valley for every major league sport. I pass on the savings. I don't upcharge my tickets. I pass on that savings to my clients. We set up everything. If you're on the more VIP end of things, we have private jets, we have personal security, we have, Rolls Royces and Bentleys, to be driven around. We rent exotic cars. So we have a VIP side and we have our everyday sports fan side. And we're here for everybody. Our goal is just to make sure everybody has a really great time. And you're coming out here to support your team. That's a game chaser. Someone chasing the game, regardless of where it's at, at what end of the city, at what end of the state, at what end of the country are you willing to travel to make sure, that you get to support your team. And that's where we come in. We support you.
That is so unique. That's so unique and so dope. Can you make a vehicle that has a Washington Commanders logo on the back of it? And I'm totally all for it. We're down.
No.
A vehicle?
Yeah.
Well, we could always get some kind of swag, like a magnetic piece of swag, and put it on the back of like an SUV, and have your private driver pick you up.
Private driver.
My private driver, I already know it'll be the loser of this league, so it's fine.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Look, I love that. See, and this is why I keep him around. He is good for 1 or 2 good ideas a year. That's a good one. Well, Kai, I can't say thank you enough for joining us. You're very kind to. I hit her up out of the blue. I saw the post where she was giving just an absolute passion.
That's Pittsburgh AOL internet. I apologize.
Yes.
AOL.
So Kai, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be embraced by your presence and your business, because I think everybody needs to have a business like that. That's really dope. That's really unique what you're doing. You're bringing a different style of fandom to the actual sports
So
world.
awesome. So
That's
awesome.
very appreciative, and I think that's really
Mhm.
dope. We definitely, I think all of us that's in our group chat, everybody, I think we need to like try to figure out a venue where we can actually do this, where the loser actually has to drive us around without knowing how to drive through
We'll have
Phoenix.
to. We'll plan it. We'll plan something to Phoenix. We're on the way. Phoenix, I can't wait to go. I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. This is you got good ideas for once, Anthony. Well, Kai, again, thank you so much for joining us, and to everyone that's joined, especially our new fans over on TikTok. I would venture out to say that this is Fanatic Sports Talk. You made it. Congratulations. And can't say thank you enough to all of our fans, everyone joining us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're like dust. And so thank you to everyone that's joined us. Thank you again to Kai, and of course, thank you, Puerto Rican. As I always say, tough times don't last, y'all. Tough people do. Thank y'all for watching the Fanatic Sports Podcast.